did some posting about the injection molded body panel parts
Yeah,
on
wrote
the
an article.
CyberCab. I've talked about it quite a bit on the program since I do have a background in injection
Yeah.
molding. But I was thinking about and I didn't realize that large injection molding is something that already exists. The bumpers on cars
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
large injection molded parts. In fact,
Yeah.
volumetrically, maybe larger than the hood and the doors, etc. But what I was curious about, and maybe you know something about this that I don't, or maybe this is completely new, is this injecting the color, on top. Do you know anything about? I mean, is this anything you have a
Yeah.
background in? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me. How does that
It's
work?
basically very, yeah, it's basically very, I mean, there's a color, and if you have a bumper on a vehicle and if it's done, if it's this in mold reaction injection molding, it also has a color injected. It's not as cosmetic and nice as what Tesla's trying to do on these body panels. So Tesla's looking for this initially this golden, this look. They want a uniform. It's across a larger flat piece of material. So I would arguably say it's going to be more difficult than a bumper, because you're going to have flatness issues, and then you're going to be the other difference is you're going to be insert. I don't know. Maybe it's not a difference. You have to go application by application and look at it, because I've had a million people ping me on Saturn, on the Pontiac Fiero, and a number of things. And when you double click, they're different. What Tesla is doing that's different from them is they're insert molding some metal. This is what we're speculating.
Okay.
And by the way, I would say it's on good reference that what I'm speculating is very close to what they may be doing.
Okay.
But I don't have any inside information. It's just more of like I'm seeing confirmation, but I don't have any inside information. But the difference is Tesla's going to insert mold a chunk of metal with this thing, so it's not going to be just the resin and the polyurethane color matching. It's not going to just be this flimsy piece of plastic that
Yeah.
is going to be mechanically affixed onto the chassis. They're
Uh,
going to insert mold
oh,
part of that chassis. It's going to be one piece. So you're going to see the door, insert molded the metal behind it
right.
with the plastic over it, with the PU injected in for color, and that's going to come out as one piece.
I see.
And this is all to unlock unboxed, because
Yeah.
what unboxed is going to be is you're going to go to a cell, and there's going to be 1,000, right doors, and that's the cell, and there are going to be 1,000 left doors. And all this is going to be color matched, and it's all got to be sequenced and done the right way. So when this thing comes together, so I would say that Tesla's got a lot of process work to do here. And this is the reason why you're seeing the plastics requisitions being loaded in for Austin. That's a unique thing to see in a general assembly factory, to have injection molding plastics processing engineers
Yeah.
in your car general assembly factory. Just you don't have that.
Yeah.
You usually have those people in your supplier industrialization team or supplier realization team that goes and works with the suppliers for that. And by the way, many of those parts I would estimate that Tesla would or are getting plastic molded are probably coming from Mexico for the US in many cases. So anyway, this is going to help on many different levels. It's going to help with tariffs. It's going to help with vertical integration. It's going to help with vehicle structure, crash performance, look, and of course cost. But it really unlocks unboxed, because what's different than the Saturn and the Pontiac Fiero, first off, they're different materials. Like the Saturn is thermoplastic. It's a different material. It's painted in a paint booth as a one complete vehicle, to get that continuous look, and then it's mechanically affixed to the housing. It's not insert molded together.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing. It's a different animal. These aren't, this is a completely different thing. Again, this is insert molded with the metal of its choice. And is it going to be stainless? Is it going to be aluminum? Is it going to be, knowing Tesla, and that's what I wrote in the article, probably be this hybridization approach of aluminum in some areas, stainless in other areas, could be magnesium in other areas for weight. So we'll have to see. But this is how they're going to get to the cost structure and how they're going to unlock unboxed.
Wow.
You
Wow.
can't do unboxed. You can't, if you don't have these things individually painted, processed, and ready to assemble, you can't do unboxed.
Yeah, okay. So on the paint, will it give the kind of luster that we're used to on a car on polyurethane paint? And second of
No.
all, it won't be the lustrous kind of thing. So it's going to be more of a flat look.
Well, I mean, they can inject metal particles. There's things that they can do to give it
Right.
more of a textured look and a nice look. There's things that they can do. I don't know what was at the We Robot event. I mean, some people are saying it looked like it was a wrap. I mean, just to have the kind of look.
Right.
So I don't know what was actually at the We Robot event. I think they're beyond prototype. In my opinion, they're probably beyond prototyping stage, and they're into the phase of like getting this thing scaled up. That's why they're hiring
Right.
the people. So I think they think it works, but now the challenge is to get it at scale. So when I hear people saying that, oh, I think the affordable vehicles are actually cybercabs with steering wheels, I would be a little bit concerned with that because number one, it's going to be costly in the beginning. It's going to be very low supply in the beginning. I think they need the entire portion of this year to get this process dialed in and get it up to scale. That doesn't mean that they're not going to produce
Build some. Yeah.
hundreds and maybe thousands of cybercabs
Yeah.
in the process
Yeah.
of getting to start of production. But to say that it's production worthy and ready for mass production volumes next year, I think it's going to take them the greater portion. This is just my speculation. I have no inside information.
So your speculation then would be that the Model Q, if you will, is going to be more like a Model 3 or Model Y in terms of the methodology for constructing it, a shorter version, a smaller version, whatever.
Yeah, I'll give you my direct feedback on it. I believe that vehicle is going to borrow the battery pack, the motors and inverters, that tech, and anything else, any other modules it can grab from the future unboxed car, because those modules had to ramp early anyway. And they had to be in production anyway, and they're lower cost modules. These are the things that they presented at Investor Day. So I think those modules are going to unlock the price point for the new lower cost vehicles. I do think that there are going to be some other trade-offs in these vehicles. You even heard Lars kind of reference like, hey, we're trying to maintain, like when you step into a Tesla, it's still fully featured. It still gives you don't feel like there's a bunch of compromises. And I don't think any of us thought, not having a rear screen was a compromise 2 or 3 years ago. So it may be things like that. So we'll have to see. But my direct answer on these vehicles, I think it's going to borrow modules from the future platform, as many as they can, to get the price point down. I believe it's going to be a miniature version of the Model Y and a larger version of the Model Y. I think they're going to build on that and the success of the Model Y. I don't know what they're going to call it. I'm not a branding person. I'm not a marketing person, but I am a supply chain person.
Yeah.
And if you can start platforming all the components that goes in these things, and they just have different body structure sizes, then you can really capitalize on the cost efficiency. And the other clue they said is they're going to use the Model 3 and Model Y lines to do this. And those lines are they're interchangeable, but you have to do a changeover, but they're constructed, they're in a similar manner. It's just different fixturing on those lines and obviously different robotics programming, but it's going to be that style line. So that's why I think it's going to be more of that style of vehicle. Of course, now you see the new Model Y, you see the new rear styling, you see the new front styling. So they already have that established. Why not capitalize that and say, okay, this is the best selling car in the world. We're going to make a larger version of it, and we're going to make a smaller version for people that want a smaller one. That's my opinion. I have no idea for sure.
If you happen to be a big fan of the Cybertruck, you might also be interested in this super fun Cybertruck refrigerator magnet and bottle opener. It is made out of super thick stainless steel, just like the Cybertruck, and it has this giant magnet on the back, so it's going to hold a lot of stuff on your refrigerator. It's an amazing gift, and it comes in that great gift box that you saw before that uses a magnet opener, just almost like an Apple box, like when you get Apple products. You can buy it on Amazon for $29.95, or you can buy it direct from me by sending $25 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. Please indicate whether you want the stainless steel look, or maybe you'd like to have this Very clever camo version. And then if you're not in the US, please add $20 for freight. If you'd like more than one, please check the information below to get pricing, as well as all that information I just told you will be repeated in the information below. So once again, think about joining the channel, getting the up-to-date Tesla news every single day. I think you'll be glad you did.